Hi, I'm the Wicked Witch of the Midwest, Yvonne DeCulo. That's what crushes me.
Giant wheel of cheese.
Giant wheel of cheese.
And I represent the Cheese Curd Guild, Jay Gloom.
And welcome to the Victory Lap, where we will be discussing the most recent episode, or maybe not the most recent episode, of All Stars. What am I doing?
Season 4.
Of... Let me tell you what I think I'm giving.
Okay.
I feel like if Raja and Raven both had like a randomized sim option, it would be like this.
I was gonna say you're giving me like the littlest bit of why don't you come up and see me sometime meets now if you please get out of my way, I have to get to church.
Kind of like a woman that is just on her way and you better not get in it. Or you're probably gonna get hit with like a tiny little bag. So we are pretty late. We've been busy. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. We've been really busy. I've been working a lot. I'm still currently sick, but we needed to do these, so we're gonna pound these out.
Ooh.
Like a nice
Ooh, why don't you come up and see me sometime?
So we're gonna be talking about episode 2 of All Star Season 4.
Remember that?
Remember that back in the day? So the queens walk in after the first elimination. Miss Jasmine Masters is gone, and the competition's getting real, which is always like one of those things that bugs me just like a tiny little bit when the queens are like, oh, it's getting real on All Stars. Like,
Yeah.
Y'all have done this before. It should have gotten real the moment you walked in the workroom.
Yeah.
It's always really suspiciously like confessional time. Quote from Manila in All Stars 1, you knew what you were getting into, girl! So then we go to the next day and we get our main challenge, which is they're gonna be doing a girl group. And they have to feature the one and only Stacy Layne Matthews.
I think at this point Stacy's passed into that pantheon of mythical queens. I think there's categories. I think you have legendary queens who are the ones like the Chad Michaels, the Alaskas, the Trixies, the Katyas, even though she hasn't won a crown. But then you have the mythical queens, where like if this is Pokemon, these are the Mews, the Celebes, where they don't need to ever come back and do an All-Stars. They don't need to come back.
False. Stacy needs to come back.
It would be fierce, but at the same time, I don't think Stacy needs to.
So we've been broken up into 2 groups. Our winners of last challenge are the ones who are the team leaders, and the most interesting part of the whole selection process is that Gia is shocked that no one has chosen her for their team first, as if she completely forgot the singing challenge from her season, where Darian pretty much said that she sounded like a foghorn the entire time. We all saw season 6. It's that slight level of Jinx's delusion perfume that she just needs to spray all over herself.
I also think a little bit at this point, there is maybe the mindset amongst the queens that even just from this first episode going to the second episode, that Gia doesn't totally play well with others this season. She definitely came out claws bared for All Stars 4. So looking at just what we saw in episode 1, knowing that she did not do well in the singing challenge in her season, I would not be so quick to pick Gia. She's beautiful and she's fierce, but as a team leader, I would be nervous about how well she's going to play with everyone else.
And interact with the rest of the group.
And how she's going to do on a vocal standpoint.
So we get into the actual main stage portion, and we have our 2 groups. Let's talk about who like our favorites were, because I think personally for me, I mean, maybe the performance itself wasn't that great, but I thought Monique did such a fantastic job. Like, this is a drag queen who should be singing. This is a drag queen who should be making music. Her voice is incredible.
I very much enjoyed Monique. I thought vocally she did a great job, but Monique has shown before that she's a great vocalist.
Like, the glow up from her season is real.
Obviously, and of course, Valentina.
I thoroughly enjoyed Valentina.
She did a great job. I loved the Selena reference. I loved her blurred out female presenting nipples.
That high note at the end.
The high note
and the way
was
that she
great.
sold that kind of weird. It almost was a little Charo to me.
It was Selena meets Charo meets the Chiquita Banana Lady. And it was great.
It was fierce.
With a little bit of I Love Lucy thrown in for flavor. And it was really, really fun, and I thought she did a great job. I thought Monet did a very, very good job. I enjoyed her rap.
Her rap was incredible. Now, for the actual choreography part, one of the big pieces of the challenge was to incorporate Stacy and to figure out how they can put her in there. Exactly. And I don't really feel like either group was successful in showcasing Stacy. Like, if the mindset was, let's show her off, I feel like neither one of them really accomplished that.
And the oddest thing was they were specifically told in the workroom by RuPaul that they would be judged by how well they incorporated Stacy into it. And they did not mention that at all.
It wasn't really during the deliberation. But you know what? I do feel like there were so many pieces that factored into why Monique's team was at the bottom. Use of Stacy should have been broadcast as something bigger, but ultimately it was because of how messy that performance was.
I think more than anything it was maybe what Stacy said about the rehearsal process that factored into the judges' decisions, because they got some great talking heads from Stacy when they were doing the choreography rehearsals on the main stage, which it's Stacy and it was just fantastic. She did a hat change. She came out and she just, mess is happening on the stage and then cutting to Stacy and like her head wrap, like, girl, I don't know what's going on. It is a mess out there.
Then we move on to the runway portion, which also factors into who's going to be in the top and bottom from both teams. And the category, unfortunately, was Elegance After Dark. I was really hoping that we'd get another like redemption outfit from your season runway, because I thought that was such a fun idea from All Stars 3, and getting to see them like redo something that was just bad from their season. I was really hoping for something like that, but the Elegance, it was a cute little like nod to season 4 or 5. I forget which one Michelle said that in, but she was talking about that. Maybe it was in season 6. Maybe that was like a reference for Gia, because somebody said something in season 6 and Michelle was like, it was real eloquent. And then Santino made fun of her. So it's a cute little nod to that. Honestly, the only true winner of that runway was Manila.
Yes.
Manila's outfit was the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5. She stole that runway.
The attention to detail, the dress, the hair,
the nude delusion.
The nude delusion, the stone pits, like it was all, it was
mouthwatering.
Moved me.
Something about how badly she did in the challenge did feel slightly calculated. Like, maybe she thought, oh, if I struggle now, and if I do badly now, there's still a safety net of so many other girls that are gonna probably do badly, and I will always be compared to this moment of like, remember when Manila did so bad in that challenge? Like, it seemed slightly calculated to me. Whether that was the intention or not, it's a little bit how it came off, especially pulling out that gown. And it was like, look how bad this performance was. Bam!
Boom!
Look at this outfit.
I also really enjoyed, I feel like Valentina stan, but I really enjoyed her hydrangea dress.
Yeah.
It was, and here's why I enjoyed it. Because when she first came out, at first I was kind of like, okay, I mean, it's a pretty dress. It's just hydrangeas. And then as I was looking at it, like, because every other queen looked amazing. We had so many beautiful gowns, stones, sequences, rhinestone garments. It was lovely. But because Valentina's was just this very bold pattern, there was something deliciously like 40s, 30s, 40s, Spanish novella romantic about it. Like,
and the folds in the back of the dress.
There was just something really beautiful and fashion about it.
I wasn't crazy about Monique's outfit, especially like the claws. Like I got what she was going for, and it very much felt like a runway that she did on her season, where she did like that unnecessary reveal. Like, it was very reminiscent of that. It was very Monique, but I think that's what honestly solidified her in the bottom. Not only was for the fact that her team was terrible, and she was the ringleader of that team, but I mean, I think the runway really solidified it. And then poor little Farrah was also in the bottom after doing so badly last week and promising to bring it this week.
I didn't think her track was bad, but she really failed at the choreography. It was the epitome of white bread dancing.
It was kind of like that friend that you bring to the club and she's like drunk, wasted, like done, and she's like, I'm gonna keep dancing.
And I know white bread dancing. I'm a big old loaf of white bread, which is why, generally speaking, I don't dance if I am forced on a dance floor. the most you're gonna get out of me is I'll just do some hip grinding because that's all I trust myself to do. I am not gonna do dancing. I'm not gonna do a choreograph.
Or you're gonna look like Pheromone.
Or I'm gonna look like Pheromone. I think the kind of nail in the compact for Farrah was that her evening elegance felt like it just missed the mark. It didn't look expensive.
It felt a little bit like a cocktail party outfit.
A
It
little
didn't
bit.
totally look like eloquence. We get to the final lip sync. Valentina and Monet are the ones who are going to fight for who's gonna go next. And they choose Into You by Ariana Grande. And Valentina does a really great job with the lip sync. It was a little slightly messy, little bit mess. Like a little drunk girl at the club who's just like got a little too turned.
A little bit.
But I did like that she threw in a little bit of that Spanish flair into it.
Yeah. What I enjoyed about it was, it was a great redemption moment.
It was a good redemption arc.
For her of like, she went out on an Ariana Grande song, and then, it's another Ariana Grande.
Whoa.
I just died. It was another Ariana song, and she knew the words this time. But what I enjoyed about it was she took Ariana Grande, and then she did it almost as J-Lo.
A little bit.
From the 90s.
Yeah.
Like, get on the floor, on the floor.
I'm pretty sure she wore that dress during the season 9 reveal, and she didn't have the diamonds on it at the time. I think those have been added since then, but I'm almost positive she wore that.
It has since been upgraded.
But Valentina chooses Farrah to go, which I think, honestly, in my heart of hearts, that was the right decision to make.
Yes.
Farrah was not doing well.
No.
And I think Valentina knows that if she kept Farrah, she'd be like the Roxy, she'd be like the Chi-Chi, where fans are gonna get mad at that person for staying around longer.
Yeah.
And I think what Valentina was doing was a smart choice, not only for Farrah, so that she didn't get that reputation, but also to uphold this idea of congeniality,
Yeah.
because she's trying to be fair and that she wants to give a shot, because Monique just won a challenge. She just was at the top. And you can't send the winner of the previous challenge home, because then you just seem like, oh.
I am sad because I do really enjoy Farrah. Farrah is good at a very specific thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think maybe the problem was for her with All Stars was her very specific thing just wasn't lining up with the All Stars challenges.
Yeah.
Because when Farrah does what she does, it is amazing. She is beautiful. She knows how to use highlighter in a way that so many gays and beauty gurus on Instagram only wish they could understand, because she just does it and it's always perfect and flawless. She has upended Christina Aguilera and replaced her. I mean, Farrah is a fierce, beautiful queen, and I think it really does just boil down to this just wasn't her season. It just wasn't her set of challenges.
But Farrah has been turning out looks. She's been
Yes.
posting on her Instagram and her Twitter all the looks that she would have worn, and they're great looks. Like, I think Farrah would do really great in a pageant.
Farrah would do amazing in
I think she'd do
pageants.
great at a pageant. But I just don't think the All-Star Drag Race formula is, like, her forte.
Right.
So we will see you all again for the next episode, which you should stick around for shortly, and we will see you all then. Thank you for watching, and let us know what your thoughts were in the comments below. Bye!